Without our BI Quick Launch, what users need to understand, again, is all the same things that were on the last slide, database connectivity, understanding SQL and structuring SQL, what tables you need, what are those relationships to join them properly, what are the field names and how to, is there any massaging of those so they can be reported on properly as well, and then any type of time-based measures that need to be calculated and things like that. So that's kind of where we come into play. Similar to an earlier slide, really we've got all these models right on top of the JD Edwards data. We can plug those on top of, we support any JD Edwards version, and that kind of will sit them between. So when we're pulling from PowerPivot, sourcing the data, we're actually maybe pulling one of our views instead of a natural table. So that's kind of how we fit into the picture there. What does BI Quick Launch entail? First, we've got, again, these views that are taking the cryptic names, converting those, also addressing some of the dates and decimals, names, user-defined code descriptions. We also, in some cases, restructure some of the data in these views that introduce things like period and help you slice and dice a little easier than if you were dealing with a natural JD Edwards structure. All these views are run right on top of your transactional data. If you want to replicate the data and run those against a replicate data source, you could do that as well. If you're getting into more of the realm of data warehousing, then we should talk offline, as that would be another approach. We actually have data warehouse content where we're building out star schema data warehousing as well. But these are real quick wins right on top of the transactional JD Edwards data. So we've got the database views, and then more complex views we call data model views. Then we've got, by the different modules, we've got over 30 of these where the different relationships where we've already defined for you which tables for different modules might be necessary, how those tables relate. And they'll be very similar to those data model views where we're actually already doing that, but it's just nice for you to have that. And you can also use these views for other third-party tools, even if you don't want to use PowerPivot, but another tool where you just want to get that JD Edwards data in a more meaningful format, we can come into play there as well. And then part of our maintenance program would be you have access to the other utilities that we build out as well, like the JD Edwards table inquiry. So implementation timeline, again, prerequisites, it works with Excel 2010. Go to PowerPivot.com and there's a download PowerPivot, so you can go ahead and load that up. Shouldn't take any more than about an hour. The views that we can deliver really can be up and running in a matter of minutes. We kind of assume that there may be some changes, like modifying some of the views and renaming some of the cat code descriptions that are meaningful names to you. So we assume there's going to be some of that kind of modification as part of the process. But then we can also help you, as part of our deliverable, build some of the time-based measures, some of that logic that we've had to figure out, so you don't have to kind of do all that on your own. And then even getting a few models up and running for you. So that's kind of what our goal would be in delivering the BI Quick Launch to help you with the PowerPivot implementation.